tonight.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have enough fun just watching Daniel Jones get absolutely mollywopped tonight. So that's fun.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and talking about it, like in my, obviously in the Scott's Tots, without starting a quarterback or a wide receiver, as long as Mike Evans gets 4.7 or less, I have a chance to win in that league. But in my main home league, half PPR, I just need Bradbury to lock down Evans to less than 20 half PPR points. So
Chubb's on bye this week, right?
Yeah, this upcoming week. Same with Mixon. And
does that mean he comes back next week?
Yeah, no, he's definitely I've already heard he's going to come back after his bye. Like that was the
I'm literally offering this guy CEH for him right now.
Yeah, go for it. So Matthew says, "What's up? What's up, Matthew?" Yeah, if you could pull that off, I mean, like man.
If I have to go a week without Chubb, it's fine with me because I have Dobbins, I have DJ Dallas too in case Carson's out again.
Yeah, smart. What? So he said he was right about Curtis Samuel. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I should have taken into account that I had to play against Curtis Samuel because that automatically means he was going to go off.
Easily. Also, I was going to bring this up with you too for my keeper league. We'll get through it after, but Alfred Morris playing tonight. Should we? What? Alfred Morris? What?
No, Wayne Gallman.
Yeah. I was gonna say either way, like don't start anybody against the Bucs.
So doctors believe Browns running back Nick Chubb is expected to miss 6 weeks. That was on October 5th.
Oh, okay. So he got promoted from the practice squad. Gallman's still starting. That's why I got confused. I'm like, wait, what? Where did Gallman go? But yeah, do not play him either way. Even if he was the starting running back, he's still playing the Bucs. The Bucs are going to limit whoever goes against them, especially a subpar running back like a guy like Alfred Moore.
If whoever is the lead back in that backfield rushes for more than 25 yards, I will be shocked.
Over under 1.3 yards
Josh
per carry.
Jacobs to 15 yards and Aaron Jones to 20.
Over under 1.3 yards per carry for Alfred Morris or Wayne Gallman.
I mean, we held fucking Jacobs to like that, so I'm.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Who should I put in the captain's slot? Okay, so don't put a quarterback there because that's kind of like a rookie move, apparently. From what I've seen, who I would go with?
Scotty Miller.
No, I don't think I would because Scotty Miller is so up and down. Honest to God, I think I would go with Gronk. I think I would put Gronk in the captain slot.
Hey, yeah, let's hope he does well because he doesn't have to do too much to beat Andrews for our bet.
Yeah, that's fact. On Mike Evans, I honestly I'm so curious to see how he plays in this game because depending on what side of the bed I woke up in the morning, he's going off or he's doing terrible. I have no idea what he's going to do.
There's no in between for him. He's either going to snap or he's going to do nothing in this game. There's no in between. There's no
six matches. Scotty Miller though too. Scotty Miller's either going to have 100 receiving yards and a long touchdown, or he's going to have a donut.
Yeah, no, I agree. Irv Smith, Evan Ingram. Oh, who to pick up because you lost Kittle? Out of those options, I mean, if you need one for next week, I'd probably. It's between Irv and Ingram. I'd probably just go with Ingram personally.
Yeah.
Reed's still banged up too.
Yeah. Is Reed back?
If Reed is fully back and ruled in,
if he's not, I'm interested in Ross Dwelly. Ross Dwelly interests me if Jordan Reed isn't back. But whoever the tight end is for the Niners, I'm not really that concerned about Jimmy Garoppolo getting injured because not only did Nick Mullins fill in for him well in that game, he was a quarterback 1 in fantasy.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So I said, write it on. Thank you. Did either of you have Cook or Adams going off?
Not only did
I'm in a lot of leagues.
I had a league with Cook, Adams, and Metcalf on one team.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I definitely have 221 right now, and I still have Evans and the Bucs defense.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, my receivers in that league are Adams, Metcalf, Evans, and Robert Woods and DJ Moore. Those are my 5 receivers.
Yeah, that's disgusting. About to rage drop JT. Yeah, that was frustrating. Don't drop him, but
I think so what I've heard is that he actually got injured in the game.
Yeah.
And that's why his snaps were limited.
That's what I heard too. 33%.
I mean, if he's not going to be operating at 100% health now, he wasn't good before that. I saw Rich Rebar tweeted out, and I kind of tweeted out a semi-similar thing to this today. The top 5 running backs in PFF Elusive rating, J.K. Dobbins is number 1, and Jordan Wilkins is number 3.
Yeah.
And the bottom 2 are Jonathan Taylor and Mark Ingram.
Yeah. No, it's insane to think about, man. It's frustrating because you want to see that guy get out in space and do well, but like he's just not been playing like the type of player.
He is
Like
running like David Montgomery.
he's not been playing like the top 6 running back guy getting ranked by ECR every week.
Yeah, I kind of want to download ECR and see where they ranked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went with Woods instead of Fournette. Now I'm hoping Fournette goes off.
I mean, good call on going with Woods.
Yeah. Yep. There you go.
Let me know what you guys think of this trade in the comments. I'm thinking I haven't like accepted it or anything or even sent it, but in my big money league, I want to try and dangle out CEH for Nick Chubb to the Nick Chubb owner, because basically what I'm kind of seeing here, it says CBS Sports 4 hours ago says Browns Nick Chubb on track for week 10, which is they're on bye this week and they're going to be playing week 10. So I mean, maybe he's limited in that game. Obviously, he might be only getting like a 50% snap share, but I think once he's back like fully in week 11, I think he's going to be like awesome, because we've seen how good this offense, particularly the rushing offense, was when Nick Chubb was there. And Kareem Hunt, for whatever reason, has not been as good as he was when Nick Chubb was there.
You know, it's so funny when you think about it too. Okay. The situation for JT these past, 7-8 weeks, give or take, since Marlon Mack went down. Okay. Imagine Cam Akers being in that spot. Cam Akers and JT have been like the exact opposite type of player this year. Cam Akers has looked fantastic on his opportunities, but hasn't gotten the opportunity. And JT has gotten all the opportunity and has not looked good whatsoever. So, I mean, I don't know if this is me like hyping up Cam Akers or talking crap on JT, but what are your thoughts on that? Because I mean,
at least with Cam Akers, we don't know yet, because Henderson got hurt in that game.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine, I don't know what the severity of. I'm actually going to look this up. I don't know if we have any word on what Henderson did, because I think it was like a soft tissue thing that he did.
And regardless, he's going to be on the waiver wire show tomorrow. So I mean,
yeah, I would imagine so. So he had a thigh injury, is what he had.
If he misses any time, I mean, Cam Akers is going to be an absolutely intriguing piece to pick up.
Oh, for sure. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to divvy up work, but I don't know if he saw that one play. I can't remember who tweeted it out. But that play that Cam Akers had where he made like 4 guys miss, that was ridiculous.
And it's just like, you had that type of talent on your bench all year. How
to be fair, though, Henderson has been playing well. It's not like Henderson's playing poorly and they're just like, it's not like the Ravens situation where they have Dobbins, who's clearly the best running back on their team, and they're still using Mark Ingram and even like Gus Edwards hasn't been playing bad, but Dobbins just like looks like Alvin Kamara out there.
Yeah, no, Dobbins has been fucking freaky. Okay, so Tyler says he traded Hollywood, Bridgewater, Jasicki for Watson and Ruggs. Yeah, I like that move. I like that move for you. To me here, Ruggs and Hollywood are basically like a wash at this point. They're basically the same type of player. Like, obviously, Hollywood's going to get a little bit more in terms of targets, but like they're both boom bust. They're both not guys you want to rely on consistently week to week. So,
man, I'd rather have Ruggs almost, to be honest, because Hollywood's quarterback is playing so bad that it's downgrading the offense.
Oh, I have Lamar.
Tackle.
Dude, I have Lamar, and literally, like, trying to watch that game yesterday, like, I wanted to throw up. He's just so inaccurate down the field. I don't know.
And Ruggs doesn't have that problem. Derek Carr is playing well, and Derek, it's just a matter of target volume for Ruggs. And that game that I called as Ruggs' breakout game was unfortunately affected by weather, like severely, and especially for a guy like Ruggs, who's a downfield target. Yeah, no, I fully agree there. By the way, Raiders are looking like a playoff team at this point, for the record. Yeah. I think like the matchup that we just saw is like the 7 seed, like Browns and Raiders. Like those are the two types, like the two teams in the AFC 6-7 area, 6-7 seed type teams. Yeah, the other team being the Dolphins and the Colts probably are those kind of guys. Yeah, no, I fully agree. Who sell high and buy lows, looking to make trades on 3 and 5 and in the hunt. I mean, so you need to buy someone. So I would say CEH is a buy low, just because the last 2 weeks the Chiefs have just not run the ball. Like it's a combination. 2 weeks ago it was because they scored a special teams touchdown or a defensive touchdown, so they didn't have the ball a lot, much like we saw with Miami this past week. But this past week it was like almost the opposite. On offense, they were just hitting deep shots like every play, and like they were just off the field so quickly. And for whatever reason, they're just throwing the ball at such an alarmingly high pace right now that it's really weird that they're not using the CEH or Le'Veon Bell very much. Hopefully that changes for people like me who own CEH. But I think CEH is a decent buy low, because I think you're going to be able to get him for very little. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, heck, and if you're looking at a potential
sell high, perhaps. I don't know how high you can sell him because, I mean, if anybody was going to buy him at this point.
My trade offer for Nick Chubb.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if there's anybody still valuing the name of Ezekiel Elliott, like I would flip him for so many other running backs at this current point.
If you could flip him straight up for Nick Chubb right now, I would do it.
Easily. The Nick Chubb, it's not even a question. I'm even talking about lower on. This may sound like
Gaskin?
I was going to say Gaskin, maybe even Ronald Jones, man.
I don't know if I'd be doing that.
Maybe
with Ronald Jones still scares me. Like I still think Ronald Jones is a week-to-week guy, so I don't want to be trading like Zeke for him.
At least your offense can put up points, though. Since Dak went out, our offense
our offense puts up points, and Ronald Jones getting 15 touches is better than Zeke getting 25 right now.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, Zeke's getting 20 carries and like maybe 2 targets a game at this point. Like that's not anything, especially with no goal line work. Zeke is just a touchdown dependent. Zeke is basically a glorified Todd Gurley at this point.
Except what he's a worse offense.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a fucking mess. You pick this guy with the third overall pick.
One other guy that I think is a good sell high candidate is Deshaun Watson because I think Will Fuller's going to get traded.
Yeah, that's fair. Talking about other options that like maybe running back. I want to see value for James Conner because I mean he looked good. He looked good, and if again another guy, if you could flip Zeke Elliott for James Conner again, I would steal that.
Yeah,
easily. There's just so many guys that kind of go under the wraps by a lot of people, especially in casual leagues.
I think if Mike Evans has a bad game this week, he's going to be a really good sell or buy low because you probably be able to get him for a guy like, I don't know. Would you flip? I'm going to like just go to the rankings real quick. I'm trying to think of someone I would flip for Mike Evans. I think once Antonio gets there, Mike Evans is upgraded, not downgraded. We're going to see it right away how defenses treat Antonio Brown because the first game that Antonio Brown is playing in is against New Orleans, and we're going to see how they deploy Marshawn Lattimore. And if they have Lattimore and Evans like he normally would be, and Antonio Brown carves them up on a drive for like 4 catches and like 80 yards in the touchdown, they're going to move Marshawn Lattimore to Antonio Brown.
Yeah. I mean,
they've done it before. That game that Ridley dissected them, they moved him off Julio.
Yeah. Wait, did we answer? Okay, no, we did. I have Metcalf, got a steal for him. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Hey guys, should I spend my number 1 waiver priority on Jordan Reed? I will check right now if Jordan Reed is.
I honestly, I think you're fine at tight end. The 2 guys that you have, I think you're okay.
Yeah, no, I still wouldn't, but I mean, actually, I think I have Jordan Reed stashed randomly in one of my league's IR spots. I don't know.
I mean, I don't mind. Like Jordan Reed's a solid pickup, but to be honest, Irv Smith is running routes like at a tremendously high pace right now, and Irv Smith is going to get back on track. Again, this was a game that was affected by weather. It's hard to take away from what happened. The only thing that I can take away from that game is the fact that Jair Alexander was on Justin Jefferson that whole time. Yeah, I looked at the stats on PFF. He didn't cover Adam Thielen at all,
which is crazy because like we were expecting that to be the cover matchup going into the game, and it just didn't come to fruition.
Which means that they're treating Jefferson as the one.
Yeah, like guys I would prefer, which they kind of should be, in my opinion. Again, we talked about it on Twitter over like if you were to do a new dynasty draft do-over right now, non-super flex, I still think like my top 2 picks would be the 2 receivers in Dallas and Minnesota.
Are you talking about
those 2 guys look like those guys look like special top 15 receivers for the next 10, 15 years. Yeah, no, it's definitely fair. I think those are the clear top 2. With all the question marks going on with those running backs, I mean, are we even sure those 2 running backs are going to be ahead of James Robinson for the future? The only thing questioning with James Robinson is his long-term potential because we don't know what Jacksonville's going to do because they're a dumpster fire of an organization. But realistically, based on play, I mean, can we exclusively say that they're better than James Robinson, J.K. Dobbins, guys like that? Like,
over James Robinson.
I would too, but I mean, like the fact that there's so many question marks around all of them, like just give me the generational type talents at receiver that we got in Lamb and Jefferson based on how they were playing this year.
Jefferson looks like Odell Beckham in his rookie year right now.
Agreed. And it sucks because we would have seen more from Lamb if Dak didn't get hurt. But I mean, if somebody's fucking selling low on CeeDee Lamb, guys, Ben DiNucci is not an NFL caliber quarterback. They charted his throws against the Eagles.
Oh, dude, there was some bad throws there.
Dude, 37, I believe it was 37 of his 40 throws came within 12 yards of the line of scrimmage. 37 out of 40 attempts. 12. like, and Andy Dalton's not better for the record. So I mean, or not much
He's
better.
a lot better than Ben DiNucci, though.
Oh yeah. No, but I'm saying for Lamb's success, like they're both going to struggle
in a redraft league. There's someone I would buy low on. I would sell CeeDee Lamb for Mike Evans after this game if Mike Evans has that game.
Easily. But the thing is that like
neither of them are really having good games right now.
Yeah,
they're both kind of buy low guys.
Agreed. Fournette or Scotty Miller to outscore Evans?
I don't think there's any chance that Leonard Fournette does it, but I think Scotty Miller could. If Bradbury locks down Evans like he did back in his Carolina days, then it's possible Scotty Miller outscores him. Yeah.
Agreed.
That was his previous question up there.
Duncan now. Okay. Do you hear me? What? Okay. It wasn't letting me click on the next comment. Okay, we're good. Yeah. Okay. I should be fine now. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I got you. You were just lagging out a bit.
All right. Okay. Bucks D might score that on their own. No, I'm kidding. It'll be tough for you. But
I got them going tonight too in one league that I need some points in.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Robert Hunt, would you play or trade Moss and Dobbins? They finally feel safe to start. I would play them, man. I would just hold on.
I would trade Moss if you can.
Yeah. Oh, if you can sell high on Moss.
He's the type of guy that I would sell high on.
Yeah, same. Dobbins, I am holding on for dear life.
I'm holding on for dear life. I've been stashing Dobbins in my home league this entire season. And I'm holding on for dear life because I do think you can start to play him now. Yeah, dude, you are lagging like crazy.
What is wrong? It's on the next. All right, what the fuck? Here, let me mute myself for 1 sec.
Yeah, I'll take care of the stuff here. Gesicki or Logan Thomas for my tight end 2 in PPR. I'd probably roll with Mike Gesicki. I think the low kind of volume that we saw from the Dolphins offense this past week is not going to be what it is every week. I think that was just a product of them getting defensive touchdown, special teams touchdown. I think going forward, Gesicki's going to have more volume going forward. So Logan Thomas is like, he's fine, I guess, but I'd rather have Gesicki because the offense, we still haven't seen Tua get really like unleashed yet. And I think Tua is going to have a good rookie season because to be honest, he's better. He was better than Justin Herbert coming out of college. So
yeah, I mean they had like, isn't it a thing? Like again, like at one point in that game, literally like the most receiving yards on the team was like 16 yards. Like I'm not sure if it
they honestly just didn't have the ball. That you're still lagging.
Am I still fucking bad for you?
Oh yeah, real bad. All right. What's the opposite?
I don't know where.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that. I saw that. Did you see Hollywood's tweet? He said like if you're not gonna like use your toys or something. Like I can't remember what exactly the tweet said, but it was like use me, like you're not using me, kind of thing.
Yeah, and even when they try to use him, he still overthrows them. You guys have a lot of great picks, and I appreciate your insights. Appreciate that. Do you have any suggestions of how to pick the best lineup with your picks each week? I'm still a noob about a lineup generator. Okay, so basically, in terms of like setting your lineup, like you're differentiating your bench from your starters, I'd mostly look up, again, like videos like us every week where we do our rankings videos, Bush does his start sits. Basically, we can give insight on the potential matchups, potential expectations for players. Again, it's not so cookie cutter as, oh, this guy's a better player. That way I have to start him over this guy because ultimately that's where matchups do tend to play. Like, for example, this week, if you were starting Mike Evans and your bench option was like Travis Fulgham, I would have advised you to start Fulgham. Personally.
Yeah, I agree.
How Evans is going to do still. But I mean, just a guy like Fulgham who like isn't really mainstream that a lot of casual players may not know. He's been playing well, and he had a prime matchup against the Cowboys. So like that was kind of one where you can point at and say, okay, he's typically my wide receiver 4, but in this matchup, he could be my wide receiver 2. So therefore, I'm going to put him in my lineup ahead of said other fringe player, if that makes sense. So week to week, again, I would just say come watch our videos, see what we kind of have to say.
And
about
then join us for the live streams too. If you have certain questions that you're struggling with, for the most part, you'll be able to tell through my start sit video or rankings videos or whatever, who are auto starts. Like if you have Devontae Adams on your team, he's always in your lineup. Always. Like certain guys you don't need to ask about, but if you're coming into this live stream and you have Corey Davis and T Higgins or whatever, like that's the type of question that you want to kind of have some clarification on from us, because we have access to tools that can help determine what their potential fantasy output might be that week.
Both those receivers actually doing well this week too.
Yeah, I had to play. I'm glad, man. T Higgins and Brandon Ayuk. It made it so much easier being able to trade Woods and Gibson, who were like two of my like primary flexes in that league, because I had Ayuk and Higgins on my bench that were just sitting there. They were just sitting there the whole time.
You're blessed there.
Yeah, and now I have Dobbins, who came up and is kind of proving himself too.
Yeah, we guessed it for sure. Yeah, man, like Corey Davis has been one of the most underrated receivers all year. He's been phenomenal week to week, and we saw it. I mean, this week he had 27 points, even bigger.
I'm bracing for the letdown though. Everyone seems to be bought in now. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Corey Davis is like the number 2 option. Jonnu Smith's dead." Like I have a feeling this is gonna rebound next week. I don't know why. I already get that inkling that the entire fantasy industry is on Corey Davis now, and they're gonna get let down.
It's fair. Do I sell A-Rod for Josh Jacobs? I would personally prefer Josh Jacobs. Again, it depends on team construction, because I do think A-Rod has shown he's a top 10 receiver, in my opinion.
In a full PPR, I don't think I would do that trade.
Yeah.
Unless you were like
desperate for running backs. I'm just assuming that a lot of people are weaker at running back than receiver. That's why I kind of tend to lean the running back in a kind of 50-50 type deal. But their values are probably going to be around the same. It just depends on your team needs there, Owen. Do you like Breeze rest of season? I mean,
he gets a boost whenever Thomas decides to come back, he gets a boost. But I mean, if you watch New Orleans, it's like first read Kamara, second read, there is none. Like he throws to Kamara every play.
Yeah, no,
and it's awesome for someone like me who has Kamara, but he doesn't stretch the field at all.
Oh, speaking about Kamara, I was actually going to mention to you, in my keeper league, I think I've already said this. My plan is to go Mixon and Diggs for Kamara to acquire Kamara as my keeper. Then I was going to offer out to the Hopkins owner, Allen Robinson and David Johnson, and then I was probably going to buy Keenan Allen for a pick, so I can like.
Are you going to lose? Is that why you're looking to buy these guys?
Pardon? Well, I'm 5-3 right now, but I realistically, I mean, my team's kind of been underperforming in terms of points. I've just kind of gotten lucky. So I'm like, okay, if I can lock down Kamara and Hopkins as my keepers and then maybe throw a pick at Keenan Allen, I would still have 2 cornerstone superstar type players. And then Keenan Allen can ultimately be my wide receiver 2 behind
if you go on Keenan Allen in like dynasty leagues, because he's older, you're loving this right now because
he's a wide receiver 1.
Has extended his ceiling.
Yeah, no, Keenan Allen is a top 8 to 10 receiver in fantasy rest of the season.
Yeah.
And I think that might even be his floor. Like consistently week to week, he's going to get you 10, 12 targets per game. It's insane.
He was talented enough to do that. Phillip Rivers, during his decline was when we started seeing Keenan Allen kind of decline, and it wasn't any fault of his own. It was because his quarterback sucked. And once we saw him first week with Tyrod, we're like, oh shit, like Keenan's not going to be very good this year. And then Justin Herbert comes in, fucking lights the world on fire. And I'm really hoping that when Austin Eckler comes back, he picks up right where he left off, because had Austin Eckler not gotten hurt, he was going to do the same exact thing for Austin Eckler that he did for Keenan Allen.
Austin Eckler, in my opinion, if he did not get hurt right now, would be the only running backs I would take over him overall in fantasy football would be Kamara, Cook, Henry, and I feel like I'm missing one, but he would be like the 5th. No, I would take him over James Robinson.
No, I would too. But like, I agree with you. I think he would be in that like elite tier of running backs. And I actually, now that you just mentioned that, I don't know. Should I offer him? No, I'm not gonna. I was gonna say, should I offer CEH for Eckler in that league? I don't know if I could stand that. I don't think Eckler's gonna be back for another 2 to 3 weeks.
Agreed. Yeah, it's just too much of a wait. By the way, Nick Chubb is probably in that range too when he comes back.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Nick Chubb before he left, like. Yeah, Nick Chubb might only get 20 carries a game and like 2 catches, which is like, it's great volume, but like you want him to get more, obviously, because he's so good. It doesn't matter because he's going to average 5.2 yards per carry and he's going to score all like his goal line rushes except for last year.
Yeah, no, man. Buy low running backs. Yeah, he mentioned. Yeah, you're good. I have Monty and JT Mitch. Team sounds good, but I'm lucky to be. Yeah, no, I feel you again. I'm in a couple spots where like literally like you're just struggling, grinding week to week, but that's ultimately. This is first of all, this fantasy season has been one of the biggest grinds I've ever experienced. Like I've always been in the situation where like, oh, okay, at this point I'm like 6-2, I'm chilling, 7-1, maybe I'm chilling. You know, my team's performing well, top 2 in points. Like we're living this year, man. Like week to week with injuries, with fucking random letdowns. Like I am fucking grinding. Like it's
Yeah.
really testing your patience and ability at this point. Because I mean, running backs are falling like hotcakes like any given week.
It's really testing. It's separating the good fantasy players from lucky fantasy players. And really annoyingly, in my home league, there's a guy who is a lucky fantasy player who has not sustained a single injury thus far this season. It's really pissing me off.
I mean, heck, I'm a good fantasy player, but in my one home league, there's nothing you can come back from when like your IR is literally like, or like half your team has missed at least 3 or 4 games this year.
Like, I had in Scott's Tots this past week, a dynasty league me and Danny are in. I won with Adrian Peterson and Matt Breida as my starting running backs.
And I may win. Again, this is a super flex, right? Kyler Murray was my only healthy quarterback, and he was on bye this week. So I had Robert Griffin III starting in my quarterback slot, and I forgot to set my line because I already assumed I was going to lose, right? I forgot to take out Jamison Crowder right before the game. I need Mike Evans to score 4.7 or less, and I win somehow. And I expected this to be a chalk-up loss. I'm 6-1 in that league, and like I've been without Dak Prescott, Christian McCaffrey, Zach Ertz.
Red uniforms on the Bucs, they just look fucking sexy.
Yeah. But like, man, going into the year, like my Scott's Tots team looked to be undefeated and everything, and then fucking.
I mean, my team was really good too, but my IR slot has Raheem Mostert, Austin Eckler, and Saquon Barkley on it right now.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I'm without Chris Carson too. Like it's just, well, our teams got decimated, and like somehow.
Yeah, my receivers are still fine. Like I still have Cooper and Diggs and Lockett. Like those are 3 like very solid receivers.
Yeah. And then for me again, like, I also had Terry McLaurin on by this week. Go figure. Awesome guy. Thanks. No problem. Any chance Brady goes off? Let's hope so. He could.
Brady could go off for 38. It's possible.
Yep.
He did it last week.
Anytime, Langdon. Time to get worried about Jonnu. As a top 5 tight end? Yes. As he's
still a top 12 tight end? Yes.
Yeah.
I think he is. I think yeah, like I'm still like tempering expectations for him. He still played on almost all of the team snaps. I think they played like 59 snaps of offense or something. Also worth noting that they didn't have a lot of offensive plays, which was kind of weird in that game because it was supposed to be like fast paced and stuff. But I think the weather in that game was pretty fucked up too, right?
Yeah.
There was high winds in that game. Yeah. The Bengals actually ran like 73 offensive plays or something, and the Titans only ran like 59.
Yeah, no, it's just crazy. Giovanni Bernard, Joe Mixon. I would hold Mixon Higgins side.
I mean, Gio Bernard's pretty much useless at this point.
But I mean, so is Boston Scott once.
Yeah, so is Kenyon Drake, to be honest.
Yeah. So really,
yeah, I roll with Mixon and T Higgins.
Yep. Yo guys, should I drop Kittle? You should be talking about your commissioner spot and adding an IR spot because I would not drop Kittle.
He's expected to be out the whole season.
Is he?
Yeah. They say he's supposed to miss 8 weeks.
Okay, if he's expected to miss 8 weeks, then you can drop him. But I would still I don't know. I mean, if he ever comes back for the rest of the season, like even if it's championship week and you think you can make it there, like I just would feel sick to my stomach knowing that I let him go. But
yeah. If I would drop him for Zach Moss would be the guy. Or actually,
Damian Harris.
I think I would take Damian Harris over him.
Same. I need 3 points from tonight's game. I have Fournette, Scotty Miller. Who should I start? I would go with Scotty Miller there, Kevin. But if you need the low floor, if you need the low
3 points.
Yeah, if you need the floor, go with Fournette. If you needed like 15 points, I would go with Scotty Miller. But I mean, in terms of overall touch volume, Fournette should be able to
I need to know the scoring format. If it's a full PPR, I'm definitely taking Fournette.
Yeah. Also, should I keep Woods and Boyds on my bench? I'd want to know who your other options are in order to start them over, if that makes sense. Thoughts on Goddard and Hawkinson? I mean,
they're both Goddard. I honestly I can't tell you what happened with Goddard. Like he ran a lot of yards, he played a lot of snaps. Like I don't know what happened.
I can tell you what happened. Carson Wentz is dog shit. That's what happened.
Carson Wentz is dog shit. But Dallas Goedert is not dog shit. So I am expecting Dallas Goedert to be fine going forward. I don't think he's going to be bad at all.
Oh, no, I agree. Again, like I just think it was a bad game from Carson Wentz, to be honest. I don't think he's gonna throw up 4 turnovers against the worst defense in the NFL every single week.
I saw this poll on Twitter. Who's out first? Doug Peterson, Carson Wentz. Who's gone first? If the whole thing goes to shit, who's gone first?
Well, I mean, they drafted a quarterback, so I mean, then again, they're also tied down by that contract. So realistically, do they even have
their
that
cap
one?
situation sucks. Speaking of cap situations, I'm pretty sure the New Orleans Saints are at like 700 million after fucking trading for Quan Alexander.
I believe they are 80 million above the projected cap right now.
I can't wait. If Quan Alexander plays against the Bucs, I cannot wait for Leonard Fournette to run him over.
That's awesome.
Or Ronald Jones to make him miss a bunch of tackles, because that's all he did in Tampa Bay. Yeah. And yet people were like, why aren't we keeping Quan? Like, why did we draft Devin White at 5? It's because Devin White can tackle and Quan can't.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And he can't cover too. Devin White's not the greatest in coverage either, but Quan could not cover for the life of him. And Devin White is also might as well be an edge rusher. He's so good at blitzing.
So Quan Alexander is basically Jalen Smith, right?
I mean, yeah, like all Quan could do really was make splash plays. That's all he could do. Like, he was not consistent at all. He couldn't tackle consistently. He wasn't a great blitzer, and he wasn't good in coverage. He'll poke the ball out and force some fumbles, maybe get an interception here and there, but he really just was so inconsistent, and he's injury prone too.
Jalen Smith may be the worst cover linebacker I have ever watched.
That's not true. Nate Gary still plays in the league.
Which is crazy because he used to play safety.
I know.
How does that happen?
So terrible.
Like,
dude, but Mark Barron's the same way. He used to play safety, and he's terrible in coverage too.
Gary, was he? I think he was was it Nebraska? He played for. Yeah, because I remember I watched the when Melvin Gordon set the NCAA record for rushing yards. It was against Nathan Gary because I remember he
has that record.
No, because then he got smashed by Samaje Perine like the next week because they sat him for the whole fourth quarter, and then Samaje Perine came in next week and beat it.
That's wild.
But like initially at the time, it was the NCAA record. He had like 358 rushing yards, like something stupid like that, right? Yeah. And Nathan Gary was playing safety on the other side, and just him trying to tackle Melvin Gordon in space was just the funniest fucking highlight we've ever seen.
The story is that we don't trust Wisconsin running backs. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, Bilal says rate my team.
Let me just check it.
Yeah, dude, your team is fucking crazy.
It's gross.
Yeah.
What move should I make? 10-team roster.
I wouldn't do anything.
Okay, relax, Jared Jones. You basically sound like Jerry Jones, anyways. I'm kidding. Team tank. What do you think about Jordan Reed instead of Kittle?
If Jordan Reed's healthy, then he's going to be like the tight end to own there, not Ross Dwelly. I thought it would have been Ross Dwelly, but Kittle's going to be out the majority of the year. So whether Jordan Reed's back this week or not, like, he is the tight end that you want, and they've shown that they're willing to use him. It depends how long Jordan Reed's actually able to stay healthy himself, but whenever he comes back, he's going to be useful, and he'll probably be a top 20 guy that you can stream week over week.
Agreed. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I said the Cowboys were going to be good, and then they lost their whole offensive line. The starting tight end.
Remember when we argued about who would win the NFC Championship game between my team and your team? And my argument was that your team can't cover my team's receivers. And then you were like, but we have some young corners. And like, Darryl Worley's not even on your team now.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we stayed healthy all
to be fair, Diggs is the only guy who looks good on your defense.
I mean, he looked good last game. He didn't even look good before that. I mean,
no, I've seen him get burnt a couple times. Yeah. If it wasn't for Metcalf fumbling the ball or whatever, he would have gotten burnt another time too.
The thing that gets me excited about Trevon Diggs is not necessarily he's not a good corner today. He's not a good cornerback at this current point in his career, but he shows all the traits that you look for in developing. Again, he's still a little bit slow.
He reminds me of Carlton Davis, man. Carlton Davis got toasted his rookie year. Toasted. Yeah, he also played in Mike Smith's scheme, so that didn't help. But exactly, yeah. And Carlton Davis right now, I saw John Ledyard for Pewter Report. For what it's worth, he's a Bucs beat reporter, but he's an NFL draft guy and he's a big tape dog. He said that Carlton Davis is a top 10 defensive player of the year candidate right now. He's playing so well.
I could see that. I mean, he's top 5 corner in the league.
Yeah, as of right, yeah, like him, like guys, there's a lot of underrated corners right now that are like really scary and playing really well, like Jair Alexander, like James Bradford. Like
Jair Alexander.
Huh?
Sorry, I was just going to say Jair Alexander has been quarterback 1 this year. He's just...
Well, Jamel Dean still exists, so...
And we'll see how he does tonight. He'll probably do...
Speaking of Bucs defensive backs, man, Mike Edwards has played like 65 snaps of defense. His PFF grade's like 98.7 because he has like 3 picks.
What the fuck? I wish... by the way, Trevon Diggs had 2 picks against the Eagles, and he leads the team in picks now.
Yeah.
There's quite hold on to Gaskin there. I understand the schedule, but good players can exploit good schedules and bad players just like Montgomery.
If Montgomery doesn't have a good schedule, he's not going to play well. And even when he has a good schedule, he's going to play okay and not well.
Yeah, he doesn't have a ceiling.
Yeah.
I had him McNasty Cannon. That's a nice nickname for him.
He's called him that before.
And Dalvin cooking your sweet ass.
I lost Ridley and Galladay. Is Mike Evans rest of the season trustworthy for wide receiver production with Godwin out, or did I burn out? Okay, so is Mike Evans trustworthy for wide receiver 1 production? It depends what week we're talking about, to be honest. Because the wide receiver 1, he can be on any given week, but is he consistent? No.
Hey,
maybe he gets more consistent with Antonio Brown coming in, and he might not be seeing number 1 corners anymore, but I do expect Mike Evans to take a downtick when Antonio Brown comes in, when Godwin comes back, just from a volume perspective. But Mike Evans has never been a high volume player. When he was a high volume player, he wasn't efficient with it. He thrives off of 5 to 7 to 9 targets, like on a high week, and getting big plays. So if Antonio Brown is taking away number 1 corners and all this stuff, and Godwin's obviously still there to take away some attention, Mike Evans is going to be super efficient.
Yeah, I agree there. What's a safer running back to trade? I currently have Mike Davis. I'd want to know who your wide receiver core is. Maybe you can.
Okay, so Mike Davis ain't going to be. If you can trade Mike Davis, I would, because I don't think Mike Davis is going to be useful anymore because Christian McCaffrey is coming back next week. Yep.
I agree.
And other than that, I wouldn't trade any other guys because Mike Davis is probably not going to be useful anymore. You're relying on CEH, Rojo, and Chase Edmonds, and eventually Chase Edmonds isn't going to be a guy that you can rely on. So I would stick with what you got there. If you can trade Mike Davis for maybe a more reliable running back, maybe someone's willing to give up J.K. Dobbins or something for it. If you could do that, then I would absolutely go do that. If you could get even DeAndre Swift, if you could get him for him, like if you can dangle Mike Davis to someone and try and convince them, because there's headlines now coming out about Matt Rule saying he's going to use Mike Davis still, like with Christian McCaffrey coming back. Like that's a load of shit. He's not going to use Mike Davis at all.
Yeah, no, I agree there. Basically on every single area. Yes, sell Edmonds for Taylor if you can right now, because I don't think. I would say.
No, I would not. I would absolutely do that. No, not
you would do Edmonds for Taylor.
No, I wouldn't, because I know what I'm going to get out of Chase Edmonds for the next couple of weeks. I don't know what I'm going to get out of Jonathan Taylor.
I disagree. I would sell Edmonds for Taylor.
Why?
Because I know that Kenyon Drake's going to be back soon, and even when he does come back,
it's going to be like 2 to 3 weeks at minimum.
I don't know. I think
Chase Edmonds in these next 2 to 3 weeks is going to give you more than Jonathan Taylor's giving you this entire season.
That's a hot take. We should lock that.
I don't think so, man. Chase Edmonds, whenever he's been alone in the back, like all he's done has been good. He's just a good player. He makes plays. Like I don't expect him to cede any work to anyone else in that backfield.
Maybe we'll see.
And Dobbins, I absolutely would take over Taylor.
It's same with Dobbins, but Edmonds is the one I'm like, I can't do that. Acquiring Hawkinson and Jacobs, giving up Gronk, McLaurin, and Hunt. Give me the Gronk, McLaurin, Hunt side.
Yeah, Hunt, I mean, Hawkinson and Gronk is like a cancel. Like they cancel each other out. They're pretty similar rest of the season for me. And then McLaurin, I would rather almost have Hunt straight up than Josh Jacobs. Even with Nick Chubb coming back, I still think Hunt is like a borderline top 12 running back with Chubb there. And McLaurin is just like a cherry on top, like top 15 receiver. So I'll take the bottom side there.
I mean, you're getting a free top 15 receiver again, as Bush mentioned, on top of that deal. Is this a good deal? I get Colts D, I'm assuming that is?
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, Justin Jackson, and Mark Andrews. I give him Kelsey and Kareem Hunt.
Okay, so I would take Aaron Jones straight up over Kareem Hunt right now.
Yeah, easily.
I think Aaron Jones is going to be back soon.
Aaron Jones was the back I was forgetting in terms of the top 4.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. And then Justin Jackson, even if Aaron Jones misses one more game, you can get by with Justin Jackson. So,
I think I would do that deal. I mean, like the downgrade at tight end does hurt, but in reality, you're getting a lot better depth, and Aaron Jones over Hunt is a pretty big upgrade, in my opinion, personally, because Chubb's expected to come back. Aaron Jones, to me, is a top 4 running back rest of the season when he does.
And the rest of your running backs, I might try and sell one of Zeke or Taylor.
Yeah, I would easily sell Zeke. Try. Heck, if you can. If this may be bold, if you put Zeke into that offer instead of Hunt, I'd almost prefer that.
I would prefer that. I would if he'll take Kelsey and Zeke for him instead of Kelsey and Hunt. I would rather give up Zeke than Hunt.
Same. Should I try Thielen for AJ Brown straight up again? Yes. This is a close one for me, but AJ Brown. I was about to say, AJ Brown to me is a top 6 or 7 receiver the rest of the season. Might sound bold, but that guy's a freak. Like any given touch, any given target, he can just win a fantasy matchup. Like it's just insane to think about that. There's not many guys like that in the league. His yards after catch ability is maybe the best I've seen in like the past couple years, to be quite honest. Like he's that freaky. Tannehill or Brady rest of the season.
I'll go with Tom.
Yeah, slightly.
Addition of Antonio Brown helps.
Yeah. Should I trade away Andrews to the kid owner in one of my leagues and pick up Jared Cook? It's going
to depend what you're going to get back for him.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Mike Evans' insight for tonight? 6 yards and a tud? Hopefully,
like I said, I've gone back and forth. I think he's either having 150 yards and 3 touchdowns, or he's having like 3 receptions for 47 yards. Like there is no in between. Yeah,
no, Mike Evans is either going to snap or he's going to do dog. I'm losing by 18, and all I have left is Fournette.
You need to hope that Ronald Jones drops a pass or fumbles or something. That's the only way Leonard Fournette's getting 18, unless he vultures like 2 goal line carries.
Yeah. Need 58 between. Let's hope so. Let's go pop
That's a lot. That's a lot of points between those 2 guys, and it's kind of unfortunate that it's a running back and a quarterback. You need like this is a long shot. You need Ronald Jones to catch a pass from Brady and house it or something like that.
Probably 2 times, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
Should I be confident with Lockett to be consistent? With Lockett, he's a wide receiver 1. He's not a consistent week-to-week wide receiver 1 in terms of the overall.
To be fair, there's not many of them out there.
And I agree.
Adams and Hopkins are like the only true like consistent receivers in fantasy. Like you even saw with Metcalf, he's not even truly consistent.
No, I agree. With Lockett, okay. If you're thinking about an Amari Cooper type when his quarterback was healthy, that's what I think Lock can give you. He can end up being a top, maybe even 7 or 8. I think his ceiling may
be top like 10 to 12 receiver for the season. I just think Metcalf is the guy to own. Like he's the more like valuable asset there, but it doesn't mean Lockett isn't good still. It's a lot like Godwin and Evans last year.
Yeah. Okay.
Lockett being the Mike Evans of the offense.
This may sound bold, but real life wide receiver talent, where would you rank DK Metcalf?
Oh, I heard someone talking about this on a podcast today, and this is where I fall. I think it goes. Are we talking just this season or like overall careers and all that kind of stuff too?
I mean, like, who would you have going forward, like all of next year?
Does Antonio Brown count?
I mean, you could throw him in there if you want.
On his best day.
That's fair.
I'm going to include Antonio Brown. Here's the receivers that I would take this. I'm just going to say this season, just because it's easier that way. This season, I'm not taking Metcalf over Adams, Hopkins, Hill, Antonio Brown.
I will.
And Julio.
Yeah, so 5 receivers.
I would take him over both Bucks receivers though.
Metcalf or Diggs?
Or I guess Antonio's a Bucks receiver now, but
Metcalf or Diggs? That's probably the cutoff.
That's fucking close, man. I think that range is where he is. Like Metcalf, Diggs, Golladay, probably like the 2 Bucks guys, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, maybe. AJ Brown, yeah, probably. He's probably in there. Maybe even if you want to stretch it to Terry or something too.
I want to say Terry so bad. I just want to see him with a great quarterback, man.
I can't wait until Trey Lance is the Washington quarterback. I keep vacillating back and forth, but I think it's either going to be Fields or Lance that's the quarterback of that team next year. But man,
they're going to play themselves out of the draft pick, man.
I'm literally going to write this down. Who needs a quarterback next year? Because I actually am really curious. And we might have to – we're going to – me and Danny are not just fantasy guys, just for the record. For you guys that weren't following last offseason, we did a lot of draft stuff and we did a lot of free agency stuff. So, because there's no fantasy football in the offseason, right? Like we want to talk about football year round because it's a year round sport. So we're going to go through like landing spots and like reactions to that and kind of predictions and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you guys stick around into the offseason as well.
I'm just writing down a few teams right now.
I kind of want to know who would be like in the quarterback market.
Okay, so
Sam Brand's in it now.
The first 5 teams I wrote down were the Jets, the Jaguars, the Vikings, the Falcons, the football team, and then you can add the 49ers in there. But off my head. Oh, yeah, and then the Bears as well, although I don't think...
I think the Giants are going to be in it too.
They should be. Now, will they? I could see them just taking a Penei Sewell, playing it safe, moving Andrew Thomas to right tackle, moving Matt Pert inside, and then you can
Carolina has a chance to be in the quarterback market too.
Yeah. The problem is, again, a lot of these teams are playing themselves out of it because even winning one game, okay, I went through this. I tweeted it out recently that with the loss to the Eagles on Sunday Night Football, the Cowboys now have the projected 5th overall pick. If they were to have won that game, they would have had the projected 19th overall pick as a division winner. So keep that in mind. That's one win between a 3-5 team and a 2-6 team. That ultimately gets you from the 19th pick to the 5th pick.
Oh, they're talking about this trade right now. Imagine trading Jason Pierre-Paul away for a 3rd-round pick, because that's what we got him for, and he's been excellent.
Yeah, no, he's the top 10 edge in the league right now.
In terms of sack production, man, there's not been many guys more consistent than him.
I agree.
Like, he's up there with like the Chandler Joneses and shit of like consistency in terms of sack production.
And Rip Chandler Jones, I'm so sad that he's actually out for the year now. He's one of the most underrated players in my entire like football life. Like nobody ever talked about him as a top 2 edge rusher in the league, even though he's been playing
we might have to do like a draft of like underrated player, like make a lineup of like underrated players or something in the offseason. When we get into more offseason content, make sure you guys are leaving us like suggestions and shit, because we're gonna like do some fun stuff as well. And maybe we'll even grab one of you guys to hop on with us and do some of these like exercises.
That'd be fun. Even like mock drafts and shit too. We did all of them.
For sure. If any of you guys are a fan of a team, like I always find that fans of teams know more than the fucking media, like 90% of the time. So
easily, like, heck, talk about the Cowboys. I know everything about them basically. Same with you in the Bucs. Like,
for sure.
Thoughts on the COVID? Sorry, we missed that. Hoping we get at least 3 weeks of Chase.
I think that's probably what we're gonna get.
Also, COVID situation in Green Bay. AJ Dillon tests positive, and Jamal Williams might not play. Wait, so Jamal Williams might not play?
Okay, so Jamal Williams is considered a high-risk contact. So if Jamal Williams doesn't test positive, then he's fine. He'll be fine to play. It's if he tests positive because he was around A.J. Dillon that he can't play. And if that happens, I don't know if they're going to, like, sign someone. Like, I have no idea what they would do. If Dillon, Jamal, and Aaron Jones are all out, I have no idea who they're trotting out there at running back. Like, Dexter Williams still on the roster? Like, I have no idea.
It would be Dexter Williams because he was activated for the last game, I believe.
Yeah, so I think Aaron Jones is going to be back, personally. I don't think he's going to be out this week. So, I mean, we don't really have too much news on that yet. We'll have to see as the week goes on if Aaron Jones starts practicing or whatever. But hopefully Aaron Jones is back and this whole, like, situation doesn't matter anyway. Yeah,
big facts. So he said that. Thanks, boys, once again. Anytime, Bilal. And then my boy Chris, up, Danny Dodd. Want to see a fat Movember stat?
Are we going to do that? I might have to do it too.
Might have to, dude. Well, I basically trimmed my beard down, so I lined it up and like rose the line up a little bit. So I'm not going to shave it at all, but like in terms of like, you know, adjusting things, like in terms of lining it up and shit like that, I'm still going to do that. But yeah, I'm down to fucking grow it out.
I can grow a mean stash. I can't really grow much else on my face, but I can grow a mean stash.
Yeah, I thinned the heck out of my mustache. It was so much thicker, and then I literally like with my razor just rose it up the lip, rose it down from the nose. You know.
Yeah.
I go hardcore when I want to touch up. You know. Thanks, boys. Stay tight. Love ya. I love ya, Ray. Gurley and Boyd for Mixon and Wentz in a 1 QB.
I would probably stick with Gurley and Boyd there.
Yeah, same. I mean, I'd much prefer Mixon over Gurley, but realistically,
I don't know if it's that much prefer for me. I think they're both RB1s, I think.
I don't think Gurley's an RB1 rest of the season.
I do. I mean, the way they're using him in the red zone, he's just going to continue to get touchdowns. That's all he's done his entire career.
Yeah,
I think we got to take the L and say that we were wrong about Todd Gurley's touchdown prediction because it's sustainable to me.
His touchdowns maybe, but in terms of overall usage, 41.6% of his half PPR points this year are just off touchdowns.
That's probably how it's going to continue to go, though. That's the problem. Is that yes, Todd Gurley, if he doesn't get into the end zone, is going to be bad. But you could probably say that about a majority of the running backs in the league.
That's fair. Okay, we'll see. You both said. No,
don't sell Dobbins for JT. I would much rather have Dobbins than JT going forward.
Yes. Thanks. No problem, Steven. Is Tremaine Pope replace? I still think Josh Kelly is going to be the grinder type back.
But Kelly's role is decreasing, though. I definitely agree.
Easily. In terms of pass usage, first of all, Justin Jackson's the main.
Yeah, Jackson's the guy there. It doesn't really matter about the other two guys. And then once Eckler comes back, he's the guy there.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Jackson has looked so efficient, so talented. Hopefully you watched that waiver wire video because I told you spend all the fab on that guy, and he's looking like he's going to be an RB2 until Eckler's back, like I said. But Josh Kelly he's the classic. Like again, I called him Jamal Williams in the draft process, and now that
Jamal Williams isn't even that bad.
I was gonna say that looks disrespectful to Jamal Williams now. Like Josh Kelly's just so inefficient of a player. Like he's
like Benny Snell.
He's like Ezekiel Elliott. No, I'm kidding. Justin Jefferson or Amari Cooper with Dalton playing. Give me Justin Jefferson the rest of the season, actually.
Yeah, I think it's once Dalton comes back, it's definitely like a conversation. Yeah. I don't even think it's close without Dalton there. But yeah, I think I would take Justin Jefferson as well. The way that kid's playing, he's too good. Like,
yeah, he's a freak.
Yeah.
Jets they need a quarterback.
Yeah, the Jets, I tweeted this out today. Jets are going to fall ass backwards into the best quarterback prospect in NFL history and absolutely ruin his career, aren't they?
Oh, easily. I mean, it just sucks because, I mean, if he landed anywhere else, he's going to change that franchise around. But
that could be the case. I think they're starting to get like the only good piece of like leadership they have there is Joe Douglas right now. Because in terms of his moves, like the Jamal Adams trade, like that was actually a good move in terms of like what they needed and
assets.
Yeah, and you got 2 fucking first round picks for a box safety.
Yeah, that's insane. And when you're talking about it too, I mean, Marcus May, for example, he has stepped into that again. Like he was kind of hurt a little bit, I guess. Like he hasn't really been consistent all year, but he's shown like when he is there, when he is on the field, he could play that similar type of role in terms of getting you some production off the edge, playing that box safety type role, needing like being versatile in coverage. I mean, he's not Jamal Adams, but can he play that type of role for your defense and be an ultimate way cheaper option? Absolutely. Yeah. And you get draft assets on top of it.
You need a coach. You have to have you need to hire a good coach, Jets. Like you cannot fuck this up. Yeah. Because you'll ruin Lawrence too if you don't have a good coach.
Now
you should have hired Matt Rule is what should have happened, but the first time.
Do you inquire about Joe Brady in the offseason?
Oh, absolutely. He's absolutely one of my targets. I think him Bieniemy. I think what's the guy's name in Buffalo?
McDermott?
No, the offensive Daboll.
Oh yeah, Brian Daboll. Yeah. Sorry.
I think those guys, maybe Greg Roman even too for the Ravens. Like those type of guys, like those are the type of coaches you want to be going after. Maybe you look into the college game too and see if you can coax Lincoln out of Oklahoma or fucking grab just get weird. Grab Mike Leach, see if he'll come. Like I don't know. Like
grab someone.
Yeah.
Just don't grab Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, there's a couple tough coaches in college that are making a name for themselves. Maybe even here's an under the radar guy that might get some interviews. Why don't you call Minnesota about Fleck?
Potentially, that'd be.
They had a great roster last year, and what were they like ranked like top 8 or something in the nation?
Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah, they had a great roster, but like they're still pretty good now.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, would you trade CH and Higgins for Josh Jacobs? No, I would not.
No, I wouldn't.
If you can get like Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, someone in that tier, I think I would.
Yeah, Higgins, the way Higgins has played, he's been very consistent. He's like a 7, 8, 9 target per game guy.
Yeah, agreed. Have you listened to Antonio Brown's music? I don't want to. Gurley or David Johnson rest of the season? Give me
I'll take Gurley there.
Yeah, I think they would. Yeah, you're right, Shalom. Is Tremaine really a pope?
Yeah, he is.
Catholic royalty.
Oh, there's beauty.
Thoughts on Indianapolis running backs? Should I pick any of them up? If JT's hurt, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I think it's going to depend on Jonathan Taylor's health, but I do think Jordan Wilkins, if you have a bench spot open, if you're holding a guy like LaMichael Pirine or something, I would rather have Jordan Wilkins than LaMichael Pirine, I think.
Yeah. Agreed.
But because Jordan Wilkins has played well, and maybe he's played himself into a bigger role. Nyheim Hines, I don't give a shit about Nyheim Hines, to be honest.
No, I don't either, to be quite honest. I mean, I've seen people hyping him up and stuff, but like realistically, he's just the same guy he's going to be. He had 3 catches, 54 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Like he didn't really like do anything special. Like, he had 2 touchdowns, but like okay, and like
exactly,
he didn't get a whole lot of volume. But I think we're gonna head out, go watch the game, and be prepared for that waiver wire tomorrow.
Facts. Go Bucks.
Take it easy. Fuck Mike Evans.